All right, YouTube, once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football, a very exciting day. We're talking about the early signing period. Now, we previewed this yesterday on Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn, but now the things have really come to pass. You're talking about many signees for the Auburn Tigers, including Tank Bigsby out of Hogansville, Georgia, the number one rated recruit in this particular class. Now, the reason why this is so significant is because in a lot of cases, when you have a five-star recruit, usually they want to test the waters a little bit, kind of see who else is out there. They want to make sure they're right, or that they feel like they're making the right decision before they fully commit. But Tank Bigsby was pretty firm on his commit throughout the process. Also, Wesley Steiner. I was a little doubtful about Wesley Steiner. A lot of folks didn't understand why, but early in his recruitment, Stanford seemed to be a school that could potentially flip Wesley Steiner. Wesley is actually a pretty good student, very good athlete. Stanford was kind of looking at him at the beginning, but he stood firm with his commitment, committed today. Kobe Hudson as well. 21 guys actually committed so far today, and yet an ongoing process. This thing is going to go all the way up until Friday. It's a 72-hour window where these guys can, kind of figure out where they want to go. And, I think this was a very successful day for the Auburn Tigers. One thing that I like about this is also the secondary commits. You think about it a couple of years ago when I want to say, actually it was 2018, Auburn going into the Washington game, having to start Noah Igbenogany in a position change from wide receiver to cornerback. That turned out to be a pretty good deal for Auburn. I think probably one of the best position changes in recent history. But when you look at how rolling of the dice that could potentially be, you got to recruit you some cornerbacks. You got to make sure you don't have those position changes to where that position change, I could kind of see the position change, for some depth or something like that. But for your field cornerback to be a position change is not absolutely terrible. But the result of Noah Igbenogany having to do so is a reflection on recruiting. And I think Auburn did a great job of, making sure they got some depth, especially at the cornerback position. Very good job for the Auburn Tigers on that. Now, the biggest story of today, in my opinion, Auburn, is not so much who they signed. It's a little bit about who's still left out there and who's still interested. When I think about this, I think about the rivals, Georgia, who have a Mr. Broderick Jones at offensive line on their docket. They were hoping that he would sign today, but he didn't. This is a five-star recruit out of Lithonia, Georgia. He's one of the highest rated offensive linemen in the country. And he still has a visit pending to Auburn. So this is going to be very interesting where this particular kid goes. He's hard committed to Georgia. That means he's made a verbal pledge to Georgia. And it sounds like if Broderick Jones didn't commit today, he's probably not going to commit during this early signing period. So this gives Auburn a little leverage, a little bit of time, including the bowl game. He gets to see Auburn play in the bowl game. I don't think Broderick Jones is going to make his commitment until the National Signing Day in February. It's going to be very interesting to see what Broderick Jones decides to do. Apparently, Auburn is on the radar, definitely. He was, like I said before, sources say Georgia was hoping to sign him today, but I don't believe it's happening during this early signing period. Broderick Jones is going to stretch his recruitment all the way out to the end. It's going to be interesting to see where he decides to go. But like I said before, Auburn right now, the number 7 recruiting class in the country, with some very talented guys on the particular docket. I really am interested to see how these guys perform. One thing about, having such a large class already committed, as a coaching staff, you can go ahead and really start projecting and start forecasting, because you have these guys, 24 guys that have committed. You know, you can start to kind of see who's going to redshirt, who's going to have an immediate impact. Start really surveying some film on, you know, what skill set will match what Auburn has returning. So this is beneficial in so many ways for the Auburn Tigers, as during this period, the signing period, have gone from the number 10 class all the way to the number 7 class with some solid pieces in place. You talk about Zakevious Walker out of Schley County, Ellaville, Georgia, signed today. Xavion Capers, who said he was going to sign. J.J. Evans signed. And when we talk about the athletes, Gus Malzahn really likes those Eli Stove, Ontario McCaleb type guys. He picked up Ladarius Tennyson from Rockledge High School in Rockledge, Florida, a 4-star recruit. Desmond Tisdall, I thought, was a huge one for Auburn too, wanting to continue that, you know, that hard-hitting / athletic type linebacker. Chris Thompson out of Duncanville, Texas, committed. Marco DeMillo, this is what I was talking about. As far as like the position switches, I really like the fact that Auburn is really doing a better job of recruiting not only recruiting cornerbacks, but lengthy cornerbacks. This guy's 6'2", 190 pounds, will be a good addition to this Auburn secondary. Great day for the Auburn Tigers on the recruiting trail. Still on the lookout for Broderick Jones out of Lithonia, Georgia. 5-star recruit, one of the best offensive linemen in the country, is thinking about Auburn, guys. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.